Yeah. No,
I'm excited every single time. I can't believe this. See that sign right there?
Yes.
Is this real life? I put that up there because the first week that we actually got on this boat, I kept spontaneously bursting out into happy tears. I don't know why. It was just my heart, my gut. And I just kept looking at my husband and going, is this real life? Like, is this real life?
Like pinch you.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it because it's something we've dreamed of and we've worked hard for 7 to 8 years now. We were talking. And we've done it. Like, we looked at each other and went, we've done this. We're doing it. Like, we the dream is no longer a dream. I mean, it's still a dream. It's a reality.
Yeah.
Summer.
So what's your background on sailing, Jim?
So yeah, we started to say I grew up motorboating on the Long Island Sound, so I grew up in Connecticut, and my dad had a 32-foot Egg Harbor, which is power boat, and I spent my summer on the dinghy, just tooling around the marina and up the rivers and stuff, and then when I graduated in college and I moved out west and ended up in Tucson, so there was no boating until that, well, two things happened. One is we went out to San Diego, like you said, and picked up the sailboat. But before that, we were in Kentucky, and we saw, I was in a marina on the Ohio River, and I'm expecting houseboats and things like that, and I see a lot of ocean-going boats. Like I noticed a 28-foot Bertram with a small tuna tower on it and rigged for fishing. I'm thinking, it's so out of place. What in the world is it doing here?
Yeah.
And then I learned about the loop and that people will actually, take their boat, up and down the rivers. That's how we started looking into the Great.
Yeah, we studied the loop for a while. We thought we wanted to do that.
And we looked into Trawler Fest. And that's what really kind of got it started, and that's what we're thinking. Okay, we're 5-10 years out from retirement. We don't want to just be sitting around. We have to golf, which I golfed for a long time, but it's a huge commitment of time. It's not something I want to do forever. It's kind of not real fulfilling, and she isn't into it. So she loved boating. It was perfect.
I tried golf. I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
It seemed like so crazy to me that it goes. Well, we started off looking for motorboats because we knew that we wanted to boat in our retirement somehow, but we didn't know what that looked like. And then we started going to all these boat shows and taking seminars and stuff. Went to Trawler Fest. We did it all. And I didn't like it. I just could not warm up to the idea of these trawlers. I don't know, it didn't speak to me. Because it felt to me like I was taking my home with granite and carpet or whatever, and I'm plopping it in a boat, and it just didn't feel like a boat to me.
Interesting perspective.
Well, then I was kind of not on board with it. And on July 7th, 3 years ago, it was our golden anniversary because we're going on 10 now, so it was 7. And we went to Mission Beach, and I'd never been to Mission Beach, believe it or not. And we rented an hour-long rental sailboat with a tiller, like no frills. And probably 5 or 10 minutes into that, I looked at my husband and said, now this is what I thought boating was going to be. Mm-hmm. It was more of the feeling, that wind in your hair, and just the go with the wind, It was not this big motor that's going to require a lot of gas, and I don't know. Well, then we were looking at 44-foot boats is how we started out.
Right.
Wow. We had to have a big boat.
Sure.
Well, that's really because the first boat we ever stepped on was a catamaran at a boat show.
Oh, geez.
And I fell in love with a brand new Beneteau, and I was like, I'm into boating.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back to life. But we were sitting there one night. I'd almost all but given up on this, finding something that spoke to me. And I was like, am I going to go along with this or what? And one night we're sitting there, and he's always flipping through boats on Yacht World, whatever. I glance over, and I see the cockpit of this boat, just the cockpit. And I go, oh, what's that? And one of my big issues with boats was the V-berth bed. I did not want a V-berth.
Okay.
And so, this tour starts, and then he goes down here, and I'm like, real steps and not a ladder. Mm-hmm. Then, the kitchen's amazing. But the best part was this Pullman berth.
Yes.
most boats don't have a Pullman
Especially
berth.
33 feet.
Right.
And it's a full size, and then it extends, so there's like an area for the dogs to lay that's not relaying. It couldn't have been more perfect. And then the other thing I didn't like was the toilet. And so this has a beautiful toilet that's
Yes.
covered in wood, and so I still want to. But the main thing I loved about it was that it looks like a boat,
It is. It's very
and
nautical.
it's gorgeous inside. I mean, the wood. This was built in 1985, and it's just as beautiful now, just like my daughter also built. Well, his family at first thought we were crazy because
Everybody does.
yeah, everyone at first, like, because we started this 7 or 8 years ago. We started going to Trawler Fest, and we went to boat shows in Maryland, Annapolis, and like studying boating, learning about it. And you can talk a little bit how you grew up on boats. 'Cause
Yeah, so, I mean, well, going back to family and things, I think they were thinking that there's no way you or I would be able to adjust to such a small space. And she took to it great. In fact, I was the first one that wanted to maybe live on a boat. And now she's more
I'm ready to sell the
enthusiastic
house.
about it than I am.
I'm ready to
She's
sell the
ready to
house.
go.
We just talked to a realtor.
I know. What you've done in here really is kind of cozy
Thank you.
and comfortable. And it's always nice to go in someone else's boat that is comfortable because it's like, yeah, this
It
is
has a
very cool.
woman's touch. Like, and at night it's just so cozy. And of course, we have our perpetual fire.
Yeah.
And Bob's outdated TV. I got him a CD for Christmas, so we always have a fireplace. Of course, we got basketball.
There you
We'll
go.
watch the games, March Madness,
March Madness. Got it going. Wow.
and then that's the first time the dogs ever went out on the boat.
Oh, wow.
So I put those up there, and that's my mother-in-law's art. Jim's mother made those, Fran,
Oh, wow. Wow.
and so I put them on canvas, and and I'm going to switch them out for the holidays. Like just put different pictures up that she's made.
Yeah, that's really neat. I know animals, so you couldn't go wrong. And Bob. Really
Well, we
needed
fell in love with this, but then Bob backed out. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I do. I know the whole backstory.
And he's our friend, and we've remained friends with him, and he's been invaluable to us as a resource.
Yeah.
Because when we were looking for other Hans Christians, thinking this is the one we loved, we wanted this one.
Yeah.
And I'm a realtor, so he offered me. I asked him for first right of refusal,
Okay.
which he gave me, and so he honored that. And so 6 months later, we were buying a boat. So we were very, very patient. And waiting
You
for
were.
this one.
You were. I was really surprised when he backed out. I thought, wow, you lost a good customer.
Well,
There aren't a lot
in
of
all
these,
fairness, the brokers.
especially in this kind of condition.
Yeah.
So we're like, it's smaller than what we planned on, but this could be a stepping stone, or we could actually keep this boat long term because we like it so much. So it was definitely the right boat.
Well, they say that this 33 has as much storage as a 38.
Right.
And I believe it. You would be shocked to see all the stuff that I have stored in that kitchen.
Oh, there's tons of storage room in this,
Yeah.
and for 30, it's a big 33.
Yeah.
So like my boat's 39. I consider it a small 39. But then, you look at the sound qualities of the 38. The next best one would be like the 44 and such.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the storage for clothing, like we have a hanging wardrobe, we have all these
Oh.
drawers. Like those drawers go as deep as the bed, practically, like half the length of the bed. So,
Oh.
I mean, you can have so much in here. It's amazing.
And for a couple, it's a great size
It's
for handling.
perfect.
Yeah.
And we have a spare bedroom. Like
Yeah.
if my oldest son's 6'6", he couldn't probably sleep in there very comfortably, but like
No.
the grandkids could sleep in there.
Definitely. They're going to be impressed with that.
Well, and for us, this boat's so comfortable because, we're not racing. We're not going to be racing the boat. It's even if we're not crossing oceans, it's just such a smooth ride. This boat is.
Yes.
really
We're not in a
smooth.
hurry.
It is. And its performance was a lot better than I thought when we took it out a couple times.
It's been a pleasure to sail.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm basically a rookie sailor, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And I'm learning everything too, like right down to the engine stuff, the oil changes and everything, because I want to learn everything. I want to make sure that if I needed to, heaven forbid, something happened to him, we're out there, that I can do it. I can do it all. So when I was a girl, I got taught to rotate my tires and change my oil. I have 4 brothers,
Oh,
no sisters. So I was a tomboy, always kind of, but I wanted to know, how does this work? What is that? That's spark plug. How does all this work? So whenever he gets in there, I'm like right there with
poke
him.
around.
I'm
What's
like,
that? What's this? What's that?
That's
Yeah.
oil and this stuff.
And of course, I'm still learning too.
Well,
We're learning together, and it's been a lot of fun.
I'll have her change an impeller vlog or something.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Well, we watch a lot of YouTube videos. So
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube. In fact, the reason we fell in love with this boat so much is Shannon and John from SB Prism.
Oh, yeah,
Is his
okay,
name John?
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I think so. Another YouTube
She
channel.
did
Sure.
a tour of a 33.
Right,
Her 33.
right, they're 33, yes.
And we had just found this one and had been on it,
Okay.
made an offer, but then it,
Yeah.
didn't go through. Bob backed out. So I didn't even, at the time, I hadn't even gotten to open up the refrigerator. Like, I didn't get to see anything. So I must have watched her video 25 times to go, okay, and that's what my, do this, and that's where, I just studied it to where everything was in the boat. And their boat's different. It's a different year, but
Yeah,
they're about the same.
they're about the same, definitely.
But yeah, I dreamed about it, and then when Bob then decided he was ready, I already had this place decorated in my brain, and I had the fridge full. I had it all nested in my brain. I'm a nester.
Yeah, I could
Big
tell.
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
look how comfortable it is. Yeah, but that's really cool that you guys are kind of, taking a step outside your comfort zone with some of the maintenance and all that other
Way
stuff.
outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah,
We don't even change our own oil at home. Like, we're learning all of this. So.
But you're picking it up on times and stuff.
He's
and-
good at it.
Yeah, no, you got it face down. You're
Well,
really
Captain
good.
Bob scared me to death.
He always does.
Yeah, because the very first time that we hadn't bought the boat, it was our sea trial, and we were backing out. He tells me, take the boat out. And I'm like, this is his thing. But I did it because I was so scared.
Yeah.
Props, Captain Bob. And then he goes, now pull it back in and park it.
Oh yeah, going in
Immediately.
and out. Yeah,
And I was
in
like-
and out.
So I
in
pulled
and
it
out.
back in, I parked it, and he had me take it out. He wanted me to do it too. So he was like, how a father is, like, firm but
Yeah,
loving.
yes,
Yeah.
Like, we were so scared. We're like, yes, sir.
yeah.
And stuff. But he also was very, like, comforting too, like, positive about it.
Reassuring. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think everyone needs somebody like that to just kind of show them the way. Like,
It makes it easy, but it's so unusual
It
for
is.
that to happen. Yeah.
we feel so
That was another
blessed.
reason, honestly, why we liked the boat, because Bob was the right guy to buy it
It
from.
came.
Yeah.
He loved the boat. You knew he
Yeah.
loved it,
Yeah.
and he loved talking about the boat. And so we had, he doesn't have the whole history on the boat, but he has a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so, it was really helpful.
Yeah. No.
And also,
And to this day, he's like, anytime you want to talk about the boat, just write me.
Right.
during the months where we were hoping he'd change his mind, like we were dreaming about this boat, and like we were still looking at other boats, and so like we looked at a 33 in Canada, we looked at one in Malaysia or something. Like,
Oh,
how much would that
wow.
cost to get it here? We really
Yeah.
did. And so we found one in Rhode Island, and it was perfect. Probably had a little more bells and whistles and nicer than this
Pretty
one.
similar.
Yeah.
So I said, email Captain Bob right now, tell him we found this one in Rhode Island, and what does he think? I go, that way he either pisses or gets off the pot, or we move on, because that boat was really appealing to us, and Rhode Island's appealing because we want to
Right.
start on the East
Yeah,
Coast anyway.
absolutely.
South Saxon, Rhode Island. It was a great place to boat.
So he emails him, hey, what about this boat? And he writes back, don't buy that boat, I'm spending your money. Because he was looking for a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we were like, well, let's put this in writing. Because then we could just
yeah.
take a deep breath and know that whenever
Right.
the time comes, the boat will be ours. And that's all we wanted to know. We were willing to wait for her.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
well, Bob's been invaluable to us. Like, I would suggest anyone who's thinking of doing this, please don't. Come on up. Sorry. Come on.
It's okay. Jealousy.
If you're thinking of doing this, I would say find someone like you or like Bob, a mentor, someone who's been doing this for a while, because like, even here on the dock, you guys have helped us so much answering questions like, where's the propane?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we don't know anything, so.
Yeah, but I think boaters are in general just kind of that
I do
type of
too.
helpful
Right.
community.
That's something that we found that I love is like just the community.
Yes.
If you need something,
is really good. I don't have a lot of experience.
Here's another dog.
Yeah, if they're all this good, we're gonna be happy.
Oh, I think they'll be better because we're the F doc, so it's kind of like F true, but it's like
F for what? Just kidding. Well, in Chula Vista, we're moving, as you know, to Chula Vista this week. And it's a community, a smaller
Right.
arena, and it's more community, and
Yeah.
that's what we're excited for, to get to know other people.
oh yeah, in San Diego it'll be warmer. Yeah, a little bit nicer.
5-hour drive.
Yeah, oh, that's a lot nicer. Yeah,
That's the main reason.
Yeah.
Because we're
Tucson.
happy here, but it's an extra 2.5 hours each way on the
Right.
drive. So we save a
Does make
5
a
hours round
difference.
trip.
It really does.
We'll get to the boat more if we're not driving. But
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it sounds like, it's just another 2.5 hours, but it's in that traffic.
So what are your dreams now? What's your long-term plans? So you're going down to San Diego from Long Beach here.
Well, so in February of next year, I'm officially done with the bank. And then we're up in the air. We're going to move back east. All of our family's back east. That's another thing that kind of accelerated things, is that we don't have any family out west. So,
He calls Kentucky east of south.
well,
That's
East of
east
the
to me.
Mississippi.
Yeah, I'll go with
That's an
that.
argument even in Kentucky. A lot of
I
people
get it.
don't.
I'll agree with you on that.
so where we move, we don't know. If we move the boat in February, we'd probably move it to Florida or somewhere.
Okay.
If we moved it further in the spring, we might go up in the New England area. And then
Interesting.
the idea would be to cruise up and down the East Coast. So winter
Okay.
in the Bahamas and
Yeah.
summer in New England.
His mother's 94 and she lives in New England.
Oh,
And she
okay.
still kayaks, drags her own kayak out.
There's that mobility thing.
She still rides a
Yeah.
bicycle
She still rides
at 90.
bikes.
that's
She's
great.
and she's amazing. And so we want to get to that part of the country while she's still
Right. Enjoy that
able
quality
to.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take her sailing and stuff.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. And his
Yeah.
family's all still on the East Coast in the New England area.
Yeah, Connecticut.
Wow, that's really interesting. So, are you planning on shipping the boat over there?
So that's a good question. That's what we'll have to do. I don't
Yeah.
think we're ready or hardy enough to sail it there.
Yeah.
Although we've talked about it. It's not out of the question, but probably you can either put it on a freighter
Right.
or over the road. This boat's just big enough. The beam is 11.5 feet. I think at 12 feet they'd have to put the wide load and have escort cars and things.
Yeah.
So it's just big enough, small enough to bring along over the road. So I think that might be the cheapest way to do it. We'll see. I have to start looking into it now because I imagine it's not easy to book somebody.
No, it isn't. Well, actually, the freighter is pretty easy because Bob originally, one reason why he backed out, he was thinking about taking this to the BVI.
Right.
Yeah.
told us.
And he wanted to ship it over there on freighter, and that was like $19,000 or something,
Yeah.
which sounded reasonable for
Yeah.
Well, when you look at transaction costs on the boat, it's in California 10% tax, 10% commission. There's, it's crazy that it's almost worth it to ship it
Right.
and not start over again. It is worth it to ship it and not start over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't the kind of boat you let go of. Like, it's not
No.
a production boat. You can't just sell it in California and go find another one.
Yeah.
Right.
These are hard to come by.
Yeah, they're very hard to come by, especially on today's market.
Oh, I know.
God, yeah.
I'm in the Hans Christain group on all social media, Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and so I've got my pulse on what's out there.
Yeah, I imagine you do. You're definitely tapped into things. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I know it's weird seeing the Hans Christian right across the way and then looking at this one, and it's like, whoa.
It's funny because once you're part of this, you don't miss them. Everywhere there, you're like, there's one. You can spot it out
Yes.
of the bay of boats. You can go, there's one.
Yeah. And there's I don't know what it's like back east, but because the dealership is just over in Alameda, there's quite a few around here
Ah.
and such. So yeah, I don't know what it's like back east. So it's kind of odd.
Well, when we found this one, like we said earlier, we weren't even looking for a smaller boat, but we found out like insurance or something.
In fact, that was the first thing that turned us off with the larger boats.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we found out how hard it would get to get insurance, and it turns out we just have liability on this anyway because that's all we could get. But the boat's small enough and the cost we're low enough that we're thinking we can live with that if the boat sank. It's
Oh, yeah.
not gonna we're not sunk.
Right.
Don't use that word in here.
Well, did you look at any other types of boats besides this one?
Yes.
We were looking. I was probably looking at like a center.
I love center cockpits.
Okay.
Center cockpit, like easy to live in,
Yeah.
with a large and around 45 feet.
What's interesting? It just occurred to me that we thought we needed this. At home we have a California king size bed,
Oh yeah.
and we thought we needed like this walk around bed, or we needed a center cockpit for that reason. And we love this bed.
Yeah, we're pretty comfortable in
We
it.
put like 3 inches of foam on top of the custom mattress and then all the good stuff. So it's like really comfortable.
Oh yeah, and the Pullman is, that's something that you don't see too often in a lot of other boats, and it's centerline, so it's close to the center of gravity, so your motion and stuff's always a lot better.
And then the restroom, obviously they're taking advantage of that awkward space. To me, I don't know why all boats don't put the restroom in there, because you got, when you're in the shower, you've got more of this space, triangular space in here, but
yeah, especially, that's, I think, the balance between a recreational boat and a liveaboard boat, how they occupy some of the space. And it's interesting to see some of the layouts on more non-traditional layouts and such.
Yeah.
It's really kind of weird. It's cool.
Bob was saying he knows a lot about this, and I think he's right, is that it's just much more expensive to build the head in the bow and the Pullman berth. For the builder, it's just more convenient to do the berth.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and also tankage and everything. Yeah.
these were built to liveaboard, of course. These were small liveaboard yachts, like a miniature yacht.
Yes.
Foul weather gear. I went to Minis and got some things, foul weather gear, ship's bell.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Courtesy of Minis.
Yeah. It is a great place.
This is my new favorite place.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Love
it is.
it. Except I took them in, and they have a dog that isn't so friendly.
No.
By the way, they've adjusted very well. The dogs, the very first day, we bought one of those, we have a grass, one of those fake grass.
Yeah, the potty grass,
We put it on the bow of the boat, and I wasn't sure if they would take to it, if they'd know what it was. And sure enough, he gets on the boat, goes straight to it, and we've never had an issue. They go right to the step park. We put them right there. They go out and come back.
That's great.
It's awesome. Like, they became...
This one loves to hang out on the deck. She'll just lay in the sun.
Oh, there you go. Okay, the Admiral. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sweet time. Like, for us,
God,
the time is a factor. But
It's kind of like a shared hobby, too. For like, if we're going to be not working now, we both have a project to work on.
Right.
So, I think it's going to be good for us.
For instance, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm so excited to wash all this wood down with Old English later.
There you go.
On the way here, I'm like, I can't wait to wash that wood down. I know it sounds so dumb, but maybe it's just the excitement of 6 months in owning a boat.
Right.
But we've been coming here probably twice a month for 6 months at least. And
Go to the boat. I go to the boat, it's kind of that.
it's like a big hug.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
like, you had a hard day, come on in here and let me make you feel better. I don't know how you can be in a bad mood when you're on the water.
I know.
But we've only gone like out at sunset one time so far. So we were coming in at sunset.
Okay.
And I got a picture with the Queen Mary, the silhouette of the Queen Mary in the front of our boat, or the back, the bow of the boat. And I had that enlarged. We had this giant picture of our sofa, like that big. And I had that picture made into that giant sofa picture. And so now when we're sitting in the living room and we're in Tucson, Jones and to be on Lady Suzanne,
Yes.
we just look up and we go, there she is.
There you
It
go.
just reminds us of why we're working so hard.
Right.
It's all just lifestyle.
It is. It really is. And so that's kind of neat to see you guys coming from.
Well, we just went to Pilates this morning
There you go.
here in Long Beach
Oh,
because we want to keep, limber and strong. You got to be strong to be able to do all this.
yeah. So that's why I always.
It feels really good. Like, we're not 100%, cut from the cord because he retires officially in February. But it feels good to, not have any encumbrances.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling us what to do.
Oh, it's
We wake up when we want to wake up. We go to sleep when we want to go to sleep. We do what we want to do,
Yeah. No.
There's something so amazing, from the time you're in diapers, you don't get that until now when you retire. You can finally just not answer to any. It's just pretty comfortable. How much more do you need?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
This is all we need. We're very content, happy.
That's the big thing, is that happiness factor, I think.
Contentment. I think people, I have a sign in my dining room at home that says it's not happy people that are grateful. It's grateful people that are happy. And I live in gratitude every day because
Oh, God.
you don't survive 4 different cancers and not live in gratitude.
Right.
So the way I live is if my feet hit the floor, it's a good day.
Yeah.
So I may not be able to control what happens around me, but I can control my response to what happens around me.
There you go.
And that's attitude, and you don't get through 4 cancers without being
You need
mentally strong.
you need that mind game.
And you have to be grateful, because even when you're in the worst of things, you have to find something to be grateful for.
Always.
You have to. And there's always something to be grateful for.
Yeah, that there is. It's kind of fun. Wow.
The sand dunes and
Yes.
stuff, when you see
Especially
that.
when you have the excitement that you know where you're going.
Right,
Going
right.
out to the water.
Even if we came out here one week and it was snowing, I must be thinking of Kentucky. It was rainy and dark and dreary, and it was so foggy one morning we woke up, we couldn't see the boat right across the way. None
Yes.
of these boats. And even when it was like that, we'd rather be here than anywhere else. We're cuddled up with our fireplace and our hot coffee and our ball games, and like, there's nowhere else
Yeah.
we'd rather be.
Yeah.
And no one I'd rather be with.
Oh, that's so sweet.